introduction. So, Jai Meher Baba, everyone, and welcome to another wonderful session of our Seven Realities meditation and Baba's Nam Jap, the repetition of Baba's name. So, before we get into the wonderful, blissful zone with Baba, would anyone like to share anything important, anything poignant in the last week that has happened with the seven realities and any other Baba's words? Yes, Seppi? Oh, okay.
I'll share that I've had
Sure.
a great lifting of mental thoughts that have been painful to me. A great lifting this week, and it feels, I know it's all Baba. I know it had to do with last weekend and Amartithi and Seven Realities, and that feels like there's been a clearing out, and that feels wonderful. So thank you.
Beautiful. Thanks, Cindy. Cindy, a little louder. Your voice seemed today a little low.
Okay, I'll talk a little louder.
Yes.
There we go.
Yes, that's good. Anyone else would like to share something? Yes, Sanaba, please unmute.
I've actually had a horrible week. So, uh, everybody, my usual suspects, that push my buttons, I allowed it to happen, and I had no self-control, and I've actually been, directing my anger at Baba also, and telling him, with really bad language that, what the bleep, Baba. So, and he very graciously, I think, is listening to me and forgiving me for my bad behavior. But I've just had a really tough time this week. So, beyond every reality was tested, and I failed every reality. So, it's just been one of those weeks. And I feel so horrible inside that this call is my only way to get myself out of the way I'm feeling right now. So sorry if I've offloaded, any negativity here.
Not
I
at
apologize.
all. Not at all. Not at all. You don't have to be firstly sorry. And two, as Baba himself, God himself has said and told us that he is the ocean who takes all the trash and the flowers and the coconuts and all the garbage and all the rubbish that we throw in. So when God has said that, who are we to judge or think about you offloading negativity? And this space is for love and healing with Baba. So, but of course, if there is any, we need to offload it here, knowing very well that it is all going to Baba and that Baba is going to hold it and do what he has to with
Yeah.
us at all times, not just here. But yes, for the physical, tangible, uh, psychological solace for your mind that you are sending it out here, and through this via media, it's going to Baba, so be it. But everything that you are, so you don't ever, nobody ever needs to be sorry for sharing anything. And we all have had these times of bleeps with Baba. So you don't need to, everybody on and off have had. And that's a funny part. So many times when people talk about atheists or people who don't believe in God and so on, I said, no. When an atheist also says, what the heck, what the bleep, universe, what the hell is happening, that also God is listening because he's the only one to listen to. Even if he does not acknowledge who is saying. It is like, when we are not talking to each other in the house, and the father tells something to the child because he wants the mother to listen, but the mother knows it is for him. So even if he does not acknowledge the fact that he's talking to the mother knows that the husband is telling her. So it is like that. And whatever that we're saying, if we are saying it with the heart, And again, Baba has given us two simple things: to wake up in the morning and say, Baba, I begin entrusting all the good and bad, good thoughts, words, and deeds to you. And before we sleep, Baba, I entrust all that I did to you, good and bad. Now, how more easy can God make it for us? And once we entrust everything to Him wholeheartedly, and knowing that it is wholehearted, then it is all Baba's. And then, and again, that Baba says that when we wholeheartedly entrust Him and, allow Him to step in, He dare not ignore us.
I just
So,
feel that I've added 150 years of lifetimes with all the bad karma I've generated.
no, I think all that calculation is all in His hands. And when we entrust Him, then we should forget about these calculations. So, there's this beautiful thing about even forgiveness. Baba says, you ask for forgiveness, there's nothing to be forgiven because God forgives everything. And
No,
at the
that's
same
what.
time,
Yeah.
and at the same time, he has said that once you have asked for forgiveness, the reason why it keeps lingering and that energy keeps continuing, because you keep asking forgiveness for the same thing, because you've not forgiven yourself.
Yeah. And I find that's a big problem with me being able to forgive others as well. It's very difficult for me to do
Yes.
that, especially with the recurring scenarios.
Yes. So there's this beautiful thing that I got a couple of years back, with all the garbage that I had to clear out of my life from my childhood, and my life, death, illness, and whole lot of things. To say, I forgive myself for being unable to forgive,
That's a good one. Yeah.
and to just give it to Baba. That Baba, I forgive myself for being unable to forgive, and help me more from there. And it will truly be extremely precious in the way things will unfold, in the way Baba will take over. Yes,
Thank
Seppi.
you. Thank you.
I was just going to say to Sanaba, remember last week he said, don't say bad things to yourself either. So, and also you may have had the best week because you may have been releasing and learning a big lesson. Plus, I had a sort of similar week in a different way because I think of Baba as the parent. And my son was going to come over and he called me up and he was depressed and this wasn't right and that wasn't right. And I said, Baba asked us to remain cheerful under all circumstances. He wasn't ready to hear it. So we ended up having a row and he we didn't quite put the phone down, but practically. And then there was all this. And then I just said, oh, Baba, help me. And then I just knew what he needed. He needed to offload. He didn't need me to tell him or advise him or help him. So I just told him I loved him. And then I said, I'm sorry, I should just listen, let you unload and only help you if you want me to help you. And we made it up so quickly. And then he did come over and we had a lovely time. And so it was a really good lesson for me too, because he just needed to unload and needs me to be there for him and not maybe advise him unless he asks me. So I learned that big lesson this week and that was very helpful. Thank you.
Same. Roshi, can I
So
talk?
beautiful, Seppi. Yes, Binakshi. Yes.
Same thing like Sanobar. It was for me also very tough. Like since last few weeks, in fact, last few weeks, I'm unable to share my experience. Also, I'm quietly sitting, which I'm not myself. But it was so heavy, and I used to get angry on Baba that why, like every time I have to literally beg, and it is not happening. But now, like I've come to that stage, just unconditional surrendering, because every time uh, like my husband's job or whatever, since so many months, literally Baba, like then I said, okay, whatever, whenever Baba you want, make it happen. Like many things, full families, like having a very major breakdown, but then I just surrender. Now I said, like um, let it get surfaced. Thank you for surfacing, and whenever there is divine timing, make it happen, it's okay. But then inside I'm little hurt that why Baba you are just not running me down or something. But then again, 5 minutes I'm feeling that at least Baba is making me strong to surpass this phase also. but like it's mix of like roller coaster. So sometimes it is very difficult to surpass this journey. But now, like when I'm hearing everyone, I'm getting more strength.
Beautiful. Thank you, Binakshi. And that's what sharing does. Sharing is very, very empowering when done with love, with humility, with compassion. Sharing is not to boost any egos. Sharing is not, oh, Baba did this for me or did that for me. Sharing is out of love to tell another that you are not alone and we are not alone. And we all are in Baba's love, and we all will go through what we have to go through. And Baba has said this to Mandi, Baba has said this to Mehra, Baba has said this to Mani in context of him leaving his body, but not directly saying it, that, in words to effect that there will be a time where you will require my strength. There was a time where once Mani comes to Baba because she's very angry of some people, some journalists writing things about Baba and, propagating Baba, false stories about Baba. And she says, I cannot take it, kind of a thing. And and Baba just calmly smiles and, gestures to her that you don't need to waste your energy to keep their mouths shut. And you don't need to tell anything to anyone, and all of this will coexist. And repeatedly, if you read Lord Meher or anything, you will see that Baba has kept on saying that his work is primarily done through humiliation. First I never understood this part, but slowly down the line, in my own personal context, I realized that humiliation means when our ego is scraped off. There is an internal humiliation that the ego goes through. And Baba's work is happening through that humiliation. And throughout even the Mandlis, when I used to keep reading a few pages every night of Lord Meher, I used to realize how Baba very significantly would actually, be the gossiper or be the one to, in Indian terms, we say chabi maroing. So like, turning the key, pushing that button deliberately one against the other in the Mandli, but just to actually scrub off that ego, to scrub off the hatred or any disparity that might be there among his workers. And so very lovingly, Baba would do that, whether through the games that they played or, in during the tea times or even otherwise. So slowly, it was that, okay, this is the only unfortunate way that we learn lessons. There is another beautiful example that Baba has given about how if you are asleep and you are seeing a very nice, lovely dream, and you are in La La Land and here and there, and somebody wakes you up, how you would hate it. Stop it. You just woke me up when I was on the Alps and, on the Swiss Alps and enjoying. Versus if you're having a nightmare and you're running away from a tiger and your mom wakes you up, you will say, oh my God, thank God you just woke me up because I was going to be eaten by the tiger. So we need nightmares to wake us up from ignorance. And we sometimes need them in a little more turbulent way. But the best part of it is it's happening with us being in the fold of the avatar of the age. There cannot be any more biggest blessing than that. There are millions going through it as well, all through the world. We all go through our karmic journey, our sanskaras. But the few of us who are in Baba's fold right now under his manifestation period, we have to every day count our blessings to be so fortunate to be in Baba's love and fold. Yes, Jeff, we will have this sharing and then begin the meditation. Jeff, you need to unmute.
Thank you. I'm sorry. When Baba would set up so many situations for the Mandali to rub egos against each other, just like situations in our life where we have to learn to become uninsultable or unhurtable, is that kind of what Baba is encouraging? Learning how when we would ordinarily react to someone, could be a coworker, could be a neighbor, doing something that we find insensitive, which actually may be insensitive. They may be under the illusion or misperception about something you did, but things are happening so many times within a given month that I think almost all of us. Was Baba trying to give us the encouragement, learn to deal with the emotional reactivity within you, recognize it, and learn to respond with compassion and empathy rather than, oh, what? How could you say that about me? Rather than, I I'm sorry that you misunderstood what I'm saying, so that compassion and empathy is relearned rather than that habitual reactivity that doesn't matter what part of the world you're in, that emotional stuff comes up and we have to learn to deal with reactivity. Is that what Baba was trying to help all of us to learn to deal with? Because I think it has to do with our own awareness, to be aware. Could you respond to that? Because I always try to make understand, is that part of what Baba wants us to work with in that way?
I personally felt during such episodes in my own life is that Baba is helping me work with detachment. Where to the fifth reality, there is a connection which I had read the paragraph, which is there in the workbook, which I shared with all of you as well, of how a person can only and only be detached from insult when he is equally detached from praise.
True. Right.
And that at every point in time where this part where I keep praying of being unaffected from the drama within and around me. Baba, keep me unaffected from the drama within and around me. Baba, keep me unaffected from the drama within and around me. So that any drama of victimhood, any drama of he did this and she said this to me, or the drama that my ego might create outside of me, whichever the way, I realized was ultimately working to the fifth reality somewhat of detachment, of neither wanting the reward nor being afraid of the brickbats, not being affected and swept away by the praise, neither being affected by the criticisms that would be there. So I think for me, detachment became the key word. That detachment from the aspect of either of these polarities, extreme of the polarities, is the way of effacement of sort that Baba is. And I remembered that quote at that point in time of Baba saying, just the way you have to scrub and scrub to remove that dirt from my coat, I have to keep scrubbing the sanskaras till, you know, we are worthy of his love. And then the beloved God prayer comes to my mind. So I try to keep these things handy when they come. I write them down in correlation so that at any given point in time something is hitting me, I try to remember the synergy of these two, three things. And then when put together, they kind of make sense and brings me back to Baba. Even if that split second, that hurt has come, or that, oh my God, why did she do this? Why did she have to say this? Or whatever. And just move away from it, disallowing it to get into me, get into my skin of sorts, and just keep chanting Baba's name if I don't remember anything else. So if I'm taken aback in that moment and I can't remember no sentences, I can't remember no realities, nothing at all, I just keep saying Jai Baba, Jai Baba, Jai Baba, Jai Baba, and just pushing it away so that I'm not taking it in. And that has helped a lot as well.
Thank you.
Yeah, Elizabeth. So,
Yeah. May I go ahead? Okay. Can you hear me? Yes. Okay. So what I was thinking is sometimes things come up and you don't expect them. And that happened to me twice this week. And it was awful. I mean, like really, really strong feelings that came out of nowhere, that seemed to come out of nowhere. And I've had someone suggested I reflect on it and see what this was tied in with emotionally. which I did. And I truly believe that Baba is bringing up really deeply buried sanskaras or whatever to the surface and making me look at them and deal with them. And you know what? I wasn't even aware of this thing that was going. It was more associated with hurt but related to a feeling I have of wanting to protect people I love, but so deep that I'd forgotten all about it. But it was so powerful. It just brought up a lot of tears. I was shocked. I mean, it was involved with an interaction with a couple of different people, and I have to deal with that. I haven't really finished. But I'm pretty sure that's what it is. The sanskara is coming up, and the scrubbing. And I've also been reading about Baba's discussions about sleep in various books and various meetings, and how in sleep things are brought up to the surface. The sanskars are brought up to the surface, and then you're dealing with them during the daytime, because when you first wake up, you will have remnants of that, and those are the things you're working through every day. Anyway, this comes out of I think the Everything and the Nothing, God Speaks, the book on sleep, maybe listen to, I can't remember all the different sources, but multiple sources. But the pardon?
Yes.
Anyway, that's all.
Thank you. Absolutely right, Elizabeth. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing this. Yes. So it is like unearthing. When an old tree is uprooted, the earth is shaken, and with the roots it is taken out. So it cannot be amicable, and it cannot be gently pulled out, because the roots of our sanskaras run deep into our innermost beings. And therefore the turbulence when Baba is pulling all the trash out, because sometimes I feel Baba is in a hurry to cleanse us than we ourselves. The very fact that we are in his fold of love, he wants us to be clearer, of all this trash that we have. And whenever this turbulence happens, I thank Baba that he is more concerned about, this kind of emptying of sorts, and therefore he's doing what best he needs to do. So with that, let us begin our session, and may whatever that we are experiencing be transmuted to Baba's love through this. So we will begin with the Nam Jap first, 21 times Meher Baba's name, followed by the meditation. Today we are doing the breathing meditation. So we will not do the breathing separately and directly go into the meditation part of it. Okay, and after that, we will read one page of Discourses and one page from Meditation for a New Humanity. So please create your conducive setups, put in your earphones, have some water next to you. Keep your eyes closed. And just calm yourselves. Relax your entire body. Allow all external thoughts to start slowing down, while taking your focus to your heart center in the middle of your chest area, and see feel or imagine Baba's image right there. At any time when the mind wavers, bring it back to Baba's image. Focus on that image through your breath, throughout the process. We shall begin with Baba's Nam Jap, which is the recitation of Baba's name 21 times. Meher Baba, 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 Meher Baba. Take a deep breath and remain in your inner silence as we move on to the meditation. Namaste, Jai Baba everyone. This is Roshni Shanaz. Welcome to the daily breathing meditation based on the 7 realities by Avatar Meher Baba. In our fast-paced lives, this meditation will help us in a short span of time to infuse the power of God's love, helping us to live the 7 realities in everyday life. Sit in a relaxed position. Be comfortable. You may sit cross-legged. Put your feet on the ground, sitting on a chair. Or lie down. And as you sit in this comfortable position, bring your hands into the Chin Mudra or the Gyan Mudra. Touching the pad of your thumb to the tip of your index finger. Keep both the hands rested on your knees over the lap. Or a little away from the knees on your thighs. Whichever is comfortable for you. We will first begin with relaxing right from the head to your toes. Loosen up your head, your neck, your shoulders, your arms, your back, your chest, your stomach, your legs, feet, and your toes, and every part, cell of your mind, body, and spirit. Be completely relaxed in God's love. We will now take 7 deep breaths with the word Baba. With every inhale, you will say in your mind Ba, and with every exhale, you will say Ba. Take a deep breath, inhale, Ba. Exhale, Ba. 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 And as you take these deep exhales, we will now move on to imprinting each of the realities in each of the energy centers, our chakras. You will take your mind's eye and focus first to the bottom of your spinal area. To the root chakra, and imagine a red ball of light. And as you imagine this, repeat after me. I imprint real existence in the root chakra. Take a deep breath as we move on to the next chakra. You will now imagine an orange ball of light 3 fingers below your navel area, which is your sacral chakra, and repeat after me. I imprint real love in the sacral chakra. Take a deep cleansing breath. Every breath you take, keep inhaling and exhaling with the word Ba, Ba. We now move on to the third reality. Take your mind's eye or focus to the center of your upper abdominal area, just below the rib cage, and imagine a golden yellow ball of light. And repeat after me. I imprint real sacrifice in the solar plexus chakra. Take a deep cleansing breath. As we move on to the fourth reality, imagine and take your mind's eye to the center of your chest area and see an emerald green ball of light rotating there. Repeat after me. I imprint real renunciation in the heart chakra. Take a deep cleansing breath. As we move to the fifth reality, take your mind's eye and intention to the center of your lower throat area and imagine a light blue ball of light rotating there. Repeat after me. I imprint real knowledge in the throat chakra. Take a deep breath as we move to the sixth reality. Shift your mind's eye to the center of your forehead area above the eyebrows and imagine an indigo blue ball of light, which is the third eye chakra. Repeat after me. I imprint real control in the third eye chakra. And as you do that, take another deep breath with bow, bow. As we move to the seventh reality, take your mind's eye and intention to the center of the top area in your head. And imagine a royal purple ball of light rotating there, which is your crown chakra. And repeat after me. I imprint real surrender in the crown chakra. And as you take a deep breath with this seventh reality, bring your mind's eye or focus back to the root chakra and imagine the red ball of light. We shall now progressively move upwards with each chakra and inhale and exhale Baba's name into it to seal the imprints of all the seven realities into your being. Imagine the root chakra. Inhale Ba. Exhale Ba. Imagine the sacral chakra. Inhale Ba. Exhale Ba. Move to the solar plexus chakra. Inhale Ba. Exhale Ba. Move to the heart chakra. Inhale Ba. Exhale Ba. Move to the throat chakra. Inhale Ba. Exhale Ba. Move to the third eye chakra. Inhale Ba. Exhale Ba. Move to the crown chakra. Inhale Ba. Exhale Ba. And as you complete the inhale and exhale with each chakra and each reality, imagine all the chakras and the seven realities aligned in one single line along your spinal area, from the root to the crown chakra, from the red, orange, golden yellow, emerald green, light blue, indigo blue, to the royal purple, all aligned on top of each other, vibrating at their highest intensity and vibrations. And as all of them get aligned, all the beautiful seven colors of the energy centers converge to become a white beam of shining light, vibrating and throbbing through your spinal area. As you seal into your entire consciousness And every layer of this consciousness and your being with the 7 realities. Feel yourself now filled with this shimmering white light in your entire body. May every nook and corner of your mind, body and spirit be infused with Baba's love, with God's will, mercy, compassion and forgiveness. May all that is of the least intensity of God be released and transmuted into His love and light forever and ever. And as this complete sealing of all the 7 realities takes place through your being, you shall now radiate this love, this compassion, this wisdom of all the 7 realities into your daily life, to put them into practice, into your living space. May Baba's love assist you through this path to love and live God in everyday life, to live His words and make these words the precept of our lives, to be a shining example of God's love in all that you think, speak and do. In His love and light, love and light, love and light, we thank Baba and all His divine forces of love for facilitating this process. I thank your soul for participating. You shall slowly, at the count of 10, do as instructed. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Bring your palms next to each other and rub them to create significant warmth between them. And put them onto your eyes and feel that warmth permeating you entirely. Slowly move your palms away and slightly shake them on the sides to release any residual energies of any toxins and anything that is unserving and the least intensity of God. May it all be released into His love and light forever and ever. And on 1, you shall slowly open your eyes. This is Roshni Shanaz in Baba's love and light. Jai Baba to all of you. Avatar Meher Baba ki Jai. Avatar Meher Baba ki Jai. Avatar Meher Baba ki Jai. Jai Meher Baba. Welcome back. You may take a few more moments in your inner silence with Baba. I'll share the words of Discourses. We are reading page 8, part of the introduction. Baba also provides the ready example when one is faced by a puzzling decision. In essence, however, one does not know how Baba achieves the results he so clearly elicits from the human instrument. All that the individual senses is a powerful force sweeping through the snarls of life, simplifying and freeing the inner being in a manner that he instinctively trusts. One of the great wonders of contact with Baba is acceptance. He invites people to look at themselves, to accept their egoistic selves, not as good or bad, clever or stupid, successful or unsuccessful, but as illusions of their true selves, and to cease to identify themselves with the illusion. The history of man's search for his soul has produced few works dealing with the technique for the soul's discovery. Meher Baba's discourses are a major contribution to that small body of literature. In this work, given to his close disciples in the period 1938-1943, he describes the means for incorporating daily life into one's spiritual ongoing. He also outlines the structure of creation, but only to clarify apologies. He also outlines the structure of creation, but only to clarify the relationship of the aspirant to the master. In his classic later work, God Speaks, Meher Baba describes in detail the vertical system of God, his will to know himself consciously, and the purpose of creation in that will to consciousness. The discourses, on the other hand, are the practical guide for the aspirant as he slowly finds his way back to oneness after having developed consciousness through the deeps of evolution. Jai Baba. I shall now read one page from the book Meditation for a New Humanity by Meher Baba. Meher Baba identified several previous advents as Zarathustra, Rama, Krishna, Buddha, Jesus, and Muhammad. And now he has come again in our age as Meher Baba. Despite the silence he observed during the last 44 years of his life, Meher Baba's work of transforming humanity continued unabated. Aspirants in search of a meaningful spiritual path, and even many who did not know that they were seekers have discovered a direct experience of God through the power of non-judgmental and unconditional love that Meher Baba offers. He asserts the only experience which makes for the slimming down of the ego is the experience of love. And the only aspiration which makes for the alleviation of separateness in the longing to become one with the beloved. On matters of personal guidance, it is easy for seekers to accept Meher Baba's authority because his methods are practical, universal, and in complete harmony with the highest spiritual traditions. Whether one had a physical meeting with him or not, it is the heart that draws the individual to Meher Baba. Quote unquote, all I give is God, he said. Quote unquote, all I want is love. Among the thousands of accounts of inner awakening resulting from Meher Baba's contact, the commonality in the experience is the experience of love. Jai Baba. Apologies for any slip. Please raise your hand. Would anyone like to share something on the meditation, on just what we read, to elaborate and discuss further? You may raise your hand digitally or in frame. So this beautiful part connects, I feel, to what we were just discussing a little earlier. So I'll read that part again. One of the great wonders of contact with Baba is acceptance. He invites people to look at themselves, to accept their egoistic selves, not as good or bad, clever or stupid, successful or unsuccessful, but as illusions of their true selves, and to cease to identify themselves with the illusion. So we are like this, I'm like that, I'm no good, I did this, is all an illusion after all. And in another quote where Baba has said, there is no seeming good or bad, words to effect. And even that which we call bad is what is the least intensity of good. And when we identify ourselves with the body, when we, yes, I'll just unmute because it was unmuting during the thing. That's why yes, Elizabeth, now you can. Now you can unmute.
I was trying to let you know that, but I just wanted to say I didn't hear any slip. You said sorry about any slip. I said I didn't hear any slip. Anyway.
There were two slips in the pronunciations, so that's why it was.
So I didn't hear them, just so you know.
Okay. Thank you. I hope Baba heard it and he would help me change that next time. Anyone else would like to share on this? So Sanobar, I think Baba answered your question with this paragraph.
Yes, it was extremely timely and apt. And he really has his ways. And I thank you very much, Roshni. This really helps. The meditation itself helped, remove everything that I sat down with earlier. Thank you.
Yes, Lanita.
I have a question. I don't know if I didn't hear you, but today you didn't go through the description of every reality, right? Like you do.
We did. So Lanita, there are two versions we are doing alternatively, if you realize. So one is the longer version, which is the 42-minute version, which has the repetition of the inner self of each reality. And in this, we do describe each reality, but we are doing it with the shorter section with Baba's name breathing. to
Okay.
imprint it more into our energy centers.
Yeah, I didn't realize that the difference between one and the other. I'm sorry, I missed that.
No, you don't have to be sorry. So we are alternating each Sunday, the longer and the shorter version, for more power impact of Baba's love.
It's always good anyway. But I just want to share. Do I have time for sharing?
Yes, please, yes.
I just want to tell that I'm having a very hard time to detach. I don't know, maybe that Baba doesn't want me to detach right now from this person who I have a difficult relationship, and it's very conflict. Now we're trying to both of us, we're talking about, and we're just trying to to be less conflict, because we can't stand anymore how much conflict is in our relationship, because I'm very spicy, I'm Latin. That's why he said to me, "You're very spicy," but I know I am. I short temper, and that's another thing that I'm trying to. And the one thing that I'm very attached to this person. I don't know if it's our karma, sanskaras, or whatever it is. I feel so attached, and because it's so difficult, to harmonize. We harmonize for a little bit, and then next thing we know, we are having conflicts again, So I'm trying to detach. I have a lot of fear in this relationship that I'm being hurt for 2 years and a half in 3 months. And then I just want to detach. I just want to get rid of this person, inside me. And I don't know if I'm doing the right thing or not, asking Baba for that, but Baba is not doing that, now. I still attach, and I still being hurt. Now in a good phase, in a more calm, which is good for me now. But I don't want to be so attached, and I'm asking Baba for this, and I don't know if I should ask Baba for this, because if it's Baba's will that I'm in this situation now, Baba said, if you're happy because I want you happy, if you suffer it's because I want you to suffer. And some people say, and other parts of Baba's teachings, he say that 99% of your suffering is self-inflicted. So I get a little confused in that. I'm self-inflicting myself with this suffering, or it's Baba's will that I'm being this suffering right now,
So,
and
sorry.
so I get confused, with this Baba's teaching. Sometimes it's contradictory, and I don't know. Sometimes I don't know what to do, if I try to get detached, ask, because that's what I'm been doing, but it's not helping. Baba is not making me detached from this person.
Okay.
And
let me read this little bit to you on complete detachment from Discourses. Yeah.
okay.
Again, connected to the, I feel its connection to the fifth reality, which in Baba's words, as the reality says, talks about detachment in its way. Complete detachment. The kind of detachment that really lasts is due to the understanding of suffering and its cause. It is securely based upon the unshakable knowledge that all things of this world are momentary and passing, and that any clinging to them is bound eventually to be a source of pain. Man seeks worldly objects of pleasure and tries to avoid things that bring pain without realizing that he cannot have the one and eschew the other. As long as there is attachment to worldly objects of pleasure, he must perpetually invite upon himself the suffering of not having them, and the suffering of losing them after having got them. Lasting detachment, which brings freedom from all desire and attachments, is called Purna Vairagya, or complete dispassion. Complete detachment is one of the essential conditions of lasting and true happiness. For the person who has complete detachment, no longer creates for himself the suffering that is due to the unending thraldom produced by desires. Opposites. Desireless makes an individual firm like a rock. He is neither moved by pleasure nor by sorrow. He is not upset by the onslaughts of opposites. One who is affected by agreeable things is bound to be affected by disagreeable things. If a person is encouraged in his endeavors by an omen considered auspicious, he is bound to be discouraged by one considered to be inauspicious. He cannot resist the discouraging effect of an inauspicious omen as long as he derives strength from an auspicious one. The only way not to be upset by omens is to be indifferent to auspicious as well as inauspicious omens. Praise and blame. This part directly connecting to the fifth reality of the reward part and not expecting the reward, etc. The same is true of the opposites of praise and blame. If a person is pleased by receiving praise, he is bound to be miserable when he receives blame. He cannot keep himself steady under a shower of blame as long as he is inwardly delighted by receiving praise. The only way not to be upset by blame is to be detached from praise also. Only then can a person remain unmoved by the opposites of praise and blame. Then he does not lose his equanimity. The steadiness and equanimity that remain unaffected by any opposites is possible only through complete detachment, which is an essential condition of lasting and true happiness. The individual who has complete detachment is not at the mercy of the opposites of experience, and being free from the thraldom of all desires, he no longer creates his own suffering. Jai Baba. That last part, he no longer creates his own suffering, I feel should be your answer.
Okay. Thank you.
Because for example, there are many a times of conflict like this where the mind tries to, create its own happy space, comfort zone of telling me, yeah, Baba wants this to happen, so it is happening. So I again calibrate, does Baba really want this to happen, or is my ego pacifying me that Baba wants this to happen? So I put it back into the calibrator of, am I wanting what Baba wants, or am I asking Baba what I want? And the answer when, is really instant to just, and the seeing of Baba's image has so whatever Baba has gifted, what has been put into the meditations, both of them, has been something over the years which Baba has helped me personally work over it. And then when one fine day it got guided, it just came together and the meditation was created. But these are still everyday things which I personally practice with my love to Baba and with Baba, which has tremendously helped me in my everyday life. And just going within and asking, I feel, yes, Baba has said that if I'm the highest of the high, I know everything. So there is nothing to ask. And if I'm not the highest of the high and I cannot do anything, you believe, then also there is no meaning to ask. But I realized an in-between path to that. And For me, it was, Baba, you are my everything. I don't want to go to anybody else to ask. So I want to ask you. But after I ask, I leave it in your hands, whether to give it or not, and when to, and whichever way you want to. And then to step back and literally entrust. And every time that the worry or the anxiety or that anxiousness comes, Baba is yet not answered, I give even that to Baba. And Baba, take this away. I don't want to be anxious, Baba. And I know, I trust that you are taking care of it. And I remember this analogy that was brought one day when I was just praying and meditating, that when you're sitting in a play and the curtain calls happen for the interval where you have to go out and have your ice creams and popcorns, there is backstage work happening which you can't see because you are ready for part 2 out there. So I got with my inner voice saying that I do a lot of work like that, which you may not see and you don't need to see or know, which happen behind the curtains. You just trust me and come have your popcorn and come back into your seat ready for act 2 kind of a thing. So that then anytime I felt that Baba is not answering me, this is not coming, why is it not happening, I always, okay, curtains are closed, backstage work is happening, Baba is doing something I don't know about. And that would bring me back to, give it back into Baba's hands. And I don't know if that can help you as well. But I felt these little analogies just help along the way, treading the path. Yes, Lenita.
So the key is surrender. Yeah.
Yep.
Just to accept whatever is at my door. There's this that I heard the other day. It says, it's so beautiful. It says, whatever is at my door can bring me to the truth or can bring me to the suffering. Whatever it is, there's 2 ways. It's my choice. Or it's going to bring me to truth, to Baba, or it's going to bring me to misery and suffering.
Yes.
So it is. I know that in my head, but in my heart, sometimes it's hard to live like, to bring to my daily life and just really live, these words. It's learning. It's a learning process. And
there's another way that another Baba hack, I call it, of asking Baba, like, you are within me and you think, speak and do what you want to. So if I need to detach or I need to get away from some hurt, I say, Baba, you detach yourself from this hurt from me on my behalf, within me. And that has helped a lot as well for me. And maybe you could try that.
Yeah.
And see if it helps.
I never heard that before. This is good. This is good. Thank
like,
you. Yes,
like every day I pray to him, Baba, you hold on to your own daman through me. So I try to give all the possible homework to Baba every night, so that nothing is in my hands. I can do nothing. And I remember Betty's song, I am always wrong, I am always wrong. I say, Baba, you do it and it's in your hands. You grab with both hands your own daman through mine and give it all to him.
Yes, that's right. That's true. Thank you. Very helpful. Thanks.
Yes. Roshni,
Cindy?
please repeat. Yes. Please, can you repeat the statement that you made about detachment? What you say to Baba?
So I asked Baba that, Baba, so if I have to detach from you, for example, I would say, Baba, I'm not able to do that. Baba, you are within me. So you detach from Sanobar through me.
Oh.
So I just ask him to be active. If I have put him to sleep in some way and my ego has put him to sleep, then I just try to activate Baba once again and say, Baba, you think, speak and do through me what you want.
Wow, yeah.
And then the good, the bad, the ugly, like even if I've slipped, and I am apologizing to in the tangible form, that apologies for the slip. For internally for me, Baba, you have slipped. Please make sure that pronunciation is better next time. So, and if I feel guilty, if I've shouted because I had to be assertive in some way, and otherwise that work would not be done, I say sorry. I say, Baba, sorry, I shouted to you as that bank employee, but now you please get into me and help me to forgive him, and you do the job. And that has helped me a lot personally.
Yeah.
And
That's
maybe
good.
we could give it a try and see if it helps at your end as well.
I like that.
Yes, Seppi.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank
yes,
you.
that definitely helps, because that's kind of what I do with my son. But one thing I'm struggling with what we're talking about is the when things are going well, and with omens and with beautiful things, because it would be so boring not to have how just our group alone giving us pleasure and enjoying each other and learning from each other and helping each other. So does that mean I'm not allowed to take pleasure from that? Or if I see a little robin and I know that's a message from Baba, or I see a rainbow and it's at a very traumatic time and the rainbow reminds me that Baba's there, or he's in a chapati, or he's in the clouds, or he's in a moth, like you've shown us your pictures, and I have some pictures too. So that just lifts my spirits. I'm so happy. I'm in bliss with him. So how can we, especially like Lanita says she's Latino, I'm quite emotional. How do we, I don't want to know that I want to keep an even keel. I want to enjoy those beautiful, blissful moments. So what do we do?
So I remember this part of living in the world but not of the world. So it is enjoying to enjoy. And again, Baba, thank you for enjoying. So when I have a very good massage or I have a very good haircut, I thank Baba for being my hairstylist. I thank Baba for enjoying the haircut. I thank Baba for all the I love masala chatpata snackies, And I used to have in between times a couple of times during the day in the last year, and I would keep saying, I said, Baba, you have to stop all this eating in between, you have to detach me from all this chips and all of that I keep craving. You have to stop craving it from me and stop eating this. And at the same time, when enjoyed, every time, so this again could, so every time that I enjoy, or every time that I'm before eating, I pray on the food and I offer that food to Baba to eat through me. And give the robins and all the signs, like even when these first went, in the first 2 years or so, when these signs used to come, I used to feel very, very like, wow, Baba's face, oh my God, wow. And there was a different kind of excitement. And then I saw the transition of that excitement. I saw that it was not the earlier excitement that I had as I kind of a thing. And it shifted to, okay, he is reminding me that he is in everyone and everything. So it was enjoyable. I felt thankful. I would thank him for showing up and making that okay, sometimes we need this tangible reminders. I'm there, hello, what's up, knock knock. It's like that. So I would take it as Baba's loving reminder that I'm there, and need no despair. But also, if at all I have forgotten, or there is something that has happened and I need to remember, he is in the good and the bad, he's in the insects and this and that, and pop will come his image on the most ridiculous thing in life, which you have never even imagined. And then I would. So I saw that shift. I felt that shift of feeling that joy earlier, of that miraculous face in the clouds or anything, which became like, okay, this is a reminder. And then getting back into it, kind of a thing. So It's not that I don't think this I don't know if you if anybody got hit with this word dispassion, complete dispassion. So for example, I consciously left non-vegetarian food 10 years back. Now usually when you need to leave something, it has to be, you know, phasing out kind of. I will slow it down, I will eat it less, and then leave smoking, for example, or anything. But it was almost instantaneously, from today no chicken, okay, from today no mutton. And the thing was that there was no passion about it. I didn't feel the urge to eat it. I didn't feel, oh, I have become vegetarian, so oh god, you're eating non-veg, oh my god. I realized that was not so. And my fiance still eats, and that's his path. I make it for him as well. And I realized the word in this entire analogy of my life of dispassion and detachment, that my path may not be the same as everybody else's path, and everybody else's journey may not be the same as mine. And if it is true spirituality to work in Baba's love, then I cannot be judgmental about who's eating what. And he will eat what is in his path. And the dispassion part, or the word, came in where I genuinely all through these years, I don't have the taste of non-veg in my mouth. Or if we are passing something, if there is a whiff, like my fiance would say, ah, there are kebabs. I say, yeah, where? I can't get the whiff anymore. I can't get the smell anymore. It's as if my body, my system does not know the taste of non-veg. And I don't feel the urge with him sitting next to me having the chicken or mutton or fish or whatever that I used to have 7 days a week all my life. And I realized that the word dispassion is where I'm neutralizing myself, and there is an unsteered part of me. I'm neither here to the non-veg and neither to the non-veg. There is nothing happening within me about non-veg. And then these two words from this paragraph of Discourses came into being when I read it, that I could put words to it. I didn't understand first when what was happening, but then after reading while going through the seven realities, I realized that detachment and dispassion are the keys of the effacement part of the journey in a very, very major way. At least that was my personal experience. Yes, Elizabeth, we would have the last share before closing. Maybe we have 4 minutes to the Aarti. So yes, please.
So I was just going to say, in terms of passion, I don't think that as we're in the process of the involution, or if we're in the involution, or if we're in evolution, whatever phase we're in, I think it's natural that we feel passions and that we should not deny these, because the whole point of creating the creation was for God to know himself. And part of knowing himself is to experience these things. So, you know, God is a mischievous chicken. He's he's going out there from under, you know, the beyond world, and becoming conscious and more conscious, and the unconscious becomes conscious. So things come up, and we're supposed to experience them. It doesn't mean eventually we become attached, but by the time we're detached, we have incorporated all this knowledge of reality, I guess you could say. So I don't think we should be condemning ourselves if we're passionate. I'm a very passionate person. I will be very happy or very sad, and sometimes very angry, not so frequently. But and of course, I don't want those negative things. I do like the positive things better. Um, but I don't think we should be condemning ourselves, because I think it's part of the process. And God is getting to know himself, and we're just the little bubbles. That's the other thing I wanted to say. When we were doing the meditation, I did have a thought that was beyond what I mentioned. And that was that we are each of these little bubbles, and I saw them as the different colored bubbles. And I guess it's because I was reading the Nothing and the Everything or something else. I don't know, because something with Cassandra, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And
So we have time up. We have Liz, we have time up. So we will continue this because Aarti time is up, and boss lady for today, Cassandra, has to begin the Aarti. So we will continue this for sure, Elizabeth, on our next session. And we should remind you all to continue this part importantly. Thank you very much, everyone, for being there. Thank you, Baba, for being with all of us and within us and helping us to journey more and more into your love. Thank you so much, everyone. See you next Sunday at 6 p.m. IST, 7:30 a.m. EST for our 7 Realities meditation. Jai Meher Baba. Happy Aarti to all.
okay, Baba.
Baba, I wanted to watch your Aarti and you made it for me, Baba. And I wanted to be here.
Time for prayer.
Almighty God, the preserver and protector of all, you are without beginning and without end, non-dual, beyond comparison, and none can measure you. You are without color, without expression, without form, and without attributes. You are unlimited and unfathomable, beyond imagination and conception, eternal and imperishable. You are indivisible, and none can see you but with eyes divine. You always were, you always are, and you always will be. You are everywhere, you are in everything, and you are also beyond everywhere and beyond everything. You are in the firmament and in the depths. You are manifest and unmanifest, on all planes and beyond all planes. You are in the three worlds and also beyond the three worlds. You are imperceptible and independent. You are the Creator, the Lord of Laws, the knower of all minds and hearts. You are omnipotent and omnipresent. You are knowledge infinite, power infinite, and bliss infinite. You are the ocean of knowledge, all-knowing, infinitely knowing, the knower of the past, the present, and the future, and you are knowledge itself. You are all-merciful and eternally benevolent. You are the soul of souls, the one with infinite attributes. You are the Trinity of truth, knowledge, and bliss. You are the source of truth, the ocean of love. You are the Ancient One, the highest of the high. You are Prabhu and Parameshwar. You are the beyond God and the beyond God also. You are Parabrahma, Allah, Ilahi, Yastan, Ahura Mazda, and God the Beloved. You are named Isa, the only one worthy of worship. We repent, O God, most merciful, for all our sins, for every thought that was false or unjust or unclean, for every word spoken that ought not to have been spoken, for every deed done that ought not to have been done. We repent for every deed and word and thought inspired by selfishness, and for every deed and word and thought inspired by hatred. We repent most especially for every lustful thought and every lustful action, for every lie, for all hypocrisy, for every promise given but not fulfilled, and for all slander and backbiting. Most especially also we repent for every action that has brought ruin to others, for every word and deed that has given others pain, and for every wish that pain should befall others. In your unbounded mercy, we ask you to forgive us, O God, for all these sins committed by us, and to forgive us for our constant failures to think and speak and act according to your will. Beloved God, help us all to love you more and more, and more and more, and still yet more, till we become worthy of union with you, and help us all to hold fast to Baba's Daman till the very end. Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai.
Perfect